The rain had turned the city into a blur of headlights and hurried footsteps. Cold droplets hammered against the sidewalks, merciless and loud, as if the heavens were mourning something the earth hadn't yet understood. Thomas Bell, a 63-year-old retired architect with silver hair and tired eyes, walked briskly under his large black umbrella. He had taken the long way home again. Lately, he always did. Ever since his wife passed away 2 years ago, silence filled his apartment like a fog, quiet, heavy, and hard to breathe through. His days were spent fixing what didn't need fixing, writing letters he never sent, and taking walks to nowhere in particular. But this evening was different. As he passed the worn-out bench near the old train station, his steps slowed. There, huddled beneath a dim, flickering street lamp, was a young woman soaked to the bone, clutching a small baby against her chest. Her hair clung to her face, and her eyes darted around with a mix of desperation and fear. She couldn't have been older than 30. The baby whimpered softly, its blanket soaked through. Thomas hesitated, unsure if he should intervene, but the mother's shivering frame tipped the scale in his heart. He approached slowly. "Miss, are you all right?" he asked gently, his voice nearly lost in the rain. The woman flinched and pulled the baby closer. I'm sorry. We'll leave. I'm not trying to cause trouble," she stammered, her voice cracking from cold and exhaustion. Thomas knelt beside her. "You're not causing trouble. You need help. Please, let me, at least get you out of the rain." She looked at him with a wariness only the truly broken carry. But something in his kind eyes, maybe the way he held his umbrella more over her than himself, made her nod slowly. "I'm Emma," she whispered. "This is Lily." He helped her to her feet, careful not to startle her. "Thomas. It's nice to meet you, Emma. Come with me. I have a place nearby, a house no one's lived in for years. It's warm. Safe." She blinked. "Your home?" Thomas shook his head. "No, not the one I live in. This one, it used to belong to my brother. He passed, and I never sold it. Haven't touched it in a while, but the heat works and the roof doesn't leak. That should count for something tonight." Without another word, he led them through the storm. The house stood at the edge of the neighborhood, a modest one-story home with peeling paint and a porch that creaked. Thomas fumbled with the rusty key and opened the door into a world that had been asleep for a decade. Dust hung in the air, but the furniture remained. He turned on the lights and the heater, then brought out clean towels and blankets from the linen closet. Emma sank onto the couch, wrapping Lily in the warmth. Her eyes closed briefly as if surrendering for the first time in days. "Thank you," she whispered. Thomas offered her tea, reheated some soup from a can he found in the back of the cupboard, and sat across from her as she ate like she hadn't in days. There was something hollow behind her eyes, a story waiting to be told but too painful to revisit. Over the next few days, Emma and Lily stayed in the house while the rain continued. Thomas came by with groceries, dry clothes, and quietly repaired leaky pipes and replaced broken bulbs. He didn't ask questions, and she didn't offer answers. Yet, a quiet bond began to form between the old man and the young mother. Lily started smiling more. Emma's shoulders loosened. Even Thomas began humming again while he worked. On the fourth evening, while folding laundry, Emma finally spoke. "My husband died 3 months ago. Car accident. He was all we had," she said, voice trembling. "We lost the apartment, then the job. I didn't know where else to go. I didn't want Lily to sleep in a shelter." Thomas sat beside her, his eyes soft. "I know what it's like to lose someone and have the world forget how much it hurts." She looked at him, surprised. "My wife, Margaret. Cancer. She passed 2 years ago. After she died, I stopped living. Just existed." He paused. "But you reminded me that helping someone else might be the way to start breathing again." Tears welled up in Emma's eyes. She reached for his hand and squeezed it. You saved us. No, Thomas said quietly, you saved me. Weeks passed. Spring nudged its way in. The rain gave way to sunlight, and with it, hope returned. Thomas helped Emma apply for aid, then a job at the local bookstore where he used to take Margaret every Saturday. She was smart, resourceful, and kind. Lily, now giggling and crawling, became the neighborhood sweetheart. The once-forgotten house began to feel alive again, with flowers blooming in the front yard, laughter echoing off its walls, and warmth where dust used to be. One afternoon, as Thomas sat on the porch sipping iced tea, Emma came out, nervously holding a paper in her hands. I found a place, she said. Just a small apartment a few blocks from here. I got the job at the library. It's time we move forward. Thomas nodded slowly, heart heavy but proud. I'm so happy for you. She sat beside him. I wouldn't be here without you. But I was thinking. She handed him the paper. It was a lease agreement. His name was on it too. I want you to move in with us. Not out of charity. But because Lily needs a grandfather. And her voice broke, I don't want you to be alone either. Thomas blinked, heart swelling. For the first time in years, the ache of loss didn't feel like an anchor. It felt like a bridge, connecting what was, to what could be. I'd be honored, he said, voice thick with emotion. And so, the man who thought his purpose had ended, found it again, in a young widow, a child's laugh, and a second chance at family. In the end, it wasn't the house that sheltered Emma and Lily, it was the heart behind it. A heart that proved sometimes, the most unexpected moments in life are the ones that bring us home. And in a world often clouded by indifference, one act of kindness in the rain rewrote 3 lives forever. Because sometimes, when we open our doors to strangers, we find family waiting to be let in.